हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु, दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम टू एवरीवन माता जी। हरे
कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण मधुमती माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण उषा माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances and Dandavat Pranam to all of you. I invite you to the early morning short Bhagavatam class organized by ISKCON Radha Govinda Temple from Kolai, Bengaluru. And I indeed invite for and on behalf of His Grace Sri Namanista Das Prabhuji. As usual, we'll start with the prayers. Prayers are very important. And I would request all of you to pray along with me, keeping the mute button on. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pitarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapatakabalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagarana Sargunaji Sadvaitam Savadutam Pariyasitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Deva Radha Krishna Sagarana Sakarvitasya हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाचा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. May I request you to follow me? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Yam pravrajantamanupetamapetaकृत्यam Dvaipayano viraha katar ajuhava.
द्वैपायनो विरह कातर आजुहाव।
पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदु स्तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि.
पुत्रेति तन्मयतारवोऽभिनेदु
तं
सर्वभूतहृदयं
सर्वभूतहृदयमानतोऽस्मि।
यः स्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपमतितीर्थतां तमोन्दम्.
यस्वानुभावमखिलसारमेकमध्यात्मदीपमतीशतां तमोन्दमम्।
संसारिणाम करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यम् तं व्याससुनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम्
संसारिणां
करुणया
पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम्
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्
नारायणं
नमस्कृत्य
नरं
नरं
नरोत्तमम्
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
व्यासं जयमुदीरये
शृणतां स्वकथः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः
शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण
कृष्ण
पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः
हृदयन्तः स्तोयभद्राणि विदुनोति सुरस्तथा
हृदयन्ततो
भद्राणि
ह्यभद्राणि
विनोति सुहृत्सदा
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया
प्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भगवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी
भगवती
उत्तमश्लोके
उत्तमश्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, daily recitation and understanding of Srimad Bhagavatam removes all inauspicious things from our life and it worships the Lord Krishna, Uttama Sloka, who bestows upon us the Naistiki Bhakti, which is the goal of your, mine, our life. Right. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5th, Creative Impetus, Chapter 23, the Sisumara Planetary Systems. Sisumara Planetary System is considered to be the topmost planetary system, and it represents the figure of an animal with the head down. We will learn that all the remaining planetary systems existing in the universe rotates around the pole star Dhruvaloka. I would start reading and need some help from someone to read. There are two people who have raised their hand. So can I, Madhumayi Mata, request you after a couple of sentences that I read, please carry on from there onwards, okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. This chapter describes how all the planetary systems take shelter of the pole star Dhruvaloka. It also describes the totality of these planetary systems to be Sishumara, another expansion of the external body of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Can you continue, Mataji? Madhumayi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'll continue, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. It also describes the totality of these planetary systems to be Shishumara, another expansion of the external body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dhruvaloka, the abode of Lord Vishnu within this universe, is situated 13 lakh yojanas from the 7 stars. In the planetary system of Dhruvaloka are the planets of the fire god, Indra, Prajapati, Kashyapa, and Dharma, all of whom are very respectful to the great devotee Dhruva who lives on the pole star. Like bulls yoked to a central pivot, all the planetary systems revolve around Dhruvaloka, impelled by eternal time. Those who worship the Virat Purusha, the universal form of the Lord, conceive of this entire rotating system of the planets as an animal known as Shishumara. This imaginary Shishumara is another form of the Lord. Prabhuji, slightly pull up, Prabhuji. This imaginary Shishumara is another form of the Lord. The head of the Shishumara form is downward and its body appears like that of a coiled snake. On the end of its tail is Dhruvaloka. On the body of the tail are Prajapati, Agni, Indra, and Dharma. And on the root of the tail are Dhata and Vidhata. On its waist are the 7 great sages. The entire body of the Shishumara faces toward its right and appears like a coil of stars. On the side of this coil are the 14 prominent stars from Abhijit to Punarvasu, and on the left side are the 14 prominent stars from Pushya to Uttarashadha. The stars known as Punarvasu and Pushya are on the right and left of the left hips of the Shishumara, and the stars known as Ardra and Ashlesha are on the right and left feet of the Shishumara. The other stars are also fixed on different sides of the Shishumara planetary system according to the calculations of Vedic astronomers. To concentrate their minds, the yogis worship the Shishumara planetary systems. Prabhuji, slightly
It's technically known as
according to the no, I'm not able to find the line, Prabhuji.
okay.
Just
That's all right. I'll finish it. To concentrate their minds, yogis worship the Sishumara planetary system, which is technically known as Kundalini Chakra. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Madhumani Mataji. Very kind.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Mataji. In short, we are now looking at a planetary system, which is the center of our universe, and the universal planetary systems rotate around it. This chapter, as Mataji said, describes how the planetary system takes shelter. That it takes shelter of Dhruva Loka or pole star. All these planetary systems in totality, where the center is known as Sishumara. And Sishumara is nothing but expansion of the Lord himself. The pole star or Dhruva Loka is the abode of Vishnu and Dhruva Maharaj. It's about 1300,000 yojans from the 7 stars of the sages. The Dhruvaloka planetary system has planets which inhabits few important demigods like fire god, Indra, Prajapatis, Kashyapa, and Dharma. And these 5 demigods deeply respect and worship Dhruva Maharaj as a very sincere and senior devotee. Dhruva Maharaj lives in the pole star, and all the planetary systems rotate around Dhruva Loka, and this is impaired by eternal time. So if you look at it technically, Lord's wish is that the most exalted devotee, Dhruva Maharaj, is made in charge of the time factor or kala under his supervision. This is one of the highest honor that anyone could have. And thus, Dhruva Maharaj is bestowed with the highest planet and the highest honor of controlling the time or kal. Shishubara has been then further described by Srila Prabhupada so very well that it's like an animal with the head down. The animal has a body which is like a coiled snake, and that ends into a tail. So tail has a root, the body of the tail, and the end of the tail. The end of the tail has Dhruvaloka. The body of the tail has 5 demigods planets, which we described just a few minutes ago. And the body of Sishumara, and the root of the tail has Data and Vidata. After the planets, there are stars, and body of Sisumara on right hand side has 14 stars from Abhijit to Punarvasu. And on the left hand side, there are another 14 stars beginning from Uttarasaddha to Pushya. These stars are arranged in such a way that Punarvasu stays at the right hip of an animal and Pushya on the left hip of an animal. Similarly, Andhra and Aslesha are 2 other stars which respectively stays at the right and the left foot of Sishumara animal. Sishumara is thus considered to be nothing but Kundalini Chakra, which is always meditated upon by all the yogis and mystics. It's a plain set of information, and one can remember very easily if you read twice or thrice. We'll go to the first 2 verses. And let us start with reciting the verses. Okay. Up. Okay, we'll start with the first verse of 23rd chapter. Madhumayi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Ata tasmat paratah त्रयोदश लक्ष योजना अंतरतो यत्तद्विष्णोः परमं पदम् अभिवदन्ति यत्र महाभागवतो ध्रुवा औत्तानपादिर् अग्निनेन्द्रेण प्रजापतिना कश्यपेन धर्मेण च समकालयुग्भिः स बहुमानं दक्षिणतः क्रियमाणा इदानीमपि कल्पजीविनाम् आजीव्य उपास्ते तस्येह अनुभाव उपवर्णितः. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Usha Dayavati Devidasi. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
प्रणाम प्रभुजी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. श्री सुक उवाच अथ तस्मात् परतः त्रयोदश लक्ष योजन अंतरत यत्तत् विष्णु परमपदम् अभिवन्ति यत्र महाभागवताः दुर्वः औतानपादि अग्निन इन्द्रेण प्रजापतिन कश्यपेन धर्मेण च समकालयुक्तिः सा बहुमानां दक्षिणातः क्रियमान इदानीम् अभिकल्पजीविनम् अजीव्य उपस्थे तस्य इह अनुभवः उपवर्णितः. थैंक यू प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Thank you. Chitra Mohini Devidasi ji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. You and Madhumai Mataji are the co-hosts.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Ata Tasmat Paratasma Trayodasha Laksha Yojanantarataha. Yatta Vishnu Paramam Padam Abhivadanti Yatra Mahabhagavataha. Dhruva Autana Padiragni Indrena प्रजापतिन कश्यपेन धर्मेण च समकाल युग्भिः सा बहुमानं दक्षिणत क्रियमाण इदानीमपि कल्पजीविनाम अजीव्य उपास्ते तस्यैह अनुभाव उपवर्णितः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. थैंक यू.
Thank you, Mataji. Prananandini Madhvi Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. प्रणाम प्रभु जी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. श्री शुक उवाच अथ तस्मात् परतः त्रयोदश लक्ष्य योजना अन्तरतः तत् विष्णोः परं पदं विवदन्ति यत्र हि महाभागवतो ध्रुवः औत्तनपादरित् अग्नीन्द्रेण प्रजापतिना कश्यपेन धर्मेण च समकालयुग्भिः सुबहुमानं दक्षिणातः क्रियमाण इन्दानाम् अपि कल्पजीवनम् अजीव्य उपास्ते तस्यः अनुभावः उपवर्णितः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. थैंक यू प्रभु.
Thank you, Mataji. Madhumati Vilasini Mataji. Hare Krishna,
हरे
Mataji.
कृष्ण प्रभु जी. दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. श्री शुक उवाच अथ तस्मात् परतस्त्रयोदश लक्षयोजनान्तरः यत्तद्विष्णो परमं पदम् अभिवदन्ति यत्र महाभागवतः ध्रुव औत्तानपादरग्नेन इन्द्रेण प्रजापतिना कश्यपेन धर्मेण च समकालयुग्भिः स बहुमानं दक्षिणतः क्रियमाण इदानीमपि कल्पजीविनामाजीव्य उपासते तस्येहानुभाव उपवर्णितः. थैंक यू प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Vijaya Kumari Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. धन्यवाद प्रणाम. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. श्री शुक उवाच अथ तस्मात् परतस्त्रयोदश लक्ष्य योजनान्तरो यत् विष्णोः परं पदम् अभिनक्षितायाद महाभागवतो ध्रुव औतानपादिर् अग्निनेन्द्रेण प्रजापतिने कश्यपेने धर्मेणे स समकालयुग्भिः स बहुमानं दक्षिणतः क्रियमाण इदानीम् अभिकल्पजीविनाम् अजीव्य उपास्ते दर्शे अनुभाव उपवर्णितः. थैंक यू प्रभु जी.
Thank you, Mataji. Anjali Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dhanvatpranam. Shri Shuka Uvacha Atha Tasmat Parataha Trayodashalakshya Yojana Antarataha Yattatat Vishnoha Paramam Padam Abhivadanti Yatraha Mahabhagavataha Dhruvaha Autanapadaha Agnena Indrena Prajapatida Kashyapena Dharmena Cha समकाल युगभिः स बहुमानं दक्षिणतः क्रियमाणः इदानीम् अपि कल्पजीविनाम आजीव्यः उपासे तस्य इह अनुभावः उपवर्णितः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी.
Thank you, Mataji. Revati Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्रीशुक उवाच अथ तस्मात् परतस्पृदोष लक्ष्ये जानन्तरतरो यत्त विष्णोः परमं पदम् अविवदज्ञादियदा अहो महो भागवतो ध्रुव उत्तानपादिरग्निनेन्द्रेण प्रजापतिना कश्यपेन धर्मेण स समकाल युग्भिः स बहुमानं दक्षिणतः क्रियमान इदानीम् अभिकल्पजीविना अजीव उपासते तस्य अनुभाव उपवर्णितः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, Revati Mataji. May I request you, Revati Mataji, to go on with the synonyms today?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Sri Shuka Uvacha, Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, Ata thereupon, Tasmat, the sphere of the seven stars, Parataha, beyond that, Triyodasha Laksha Yojena Antara Ataha, another 130,000 yojanas, yet which that Vishnu Paraman Padam, the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu, of the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Abhivadanti, the Rig Veda mantras praise, Yatra on which Ha indeed, Mahabhagavataha, the great devotee, Durvaha, Maharaja Durva, Atanipadi, Cha also Samakala Yukviha, who are engaged at the time, Sabahu Manam, always respectfully, Dakshinat, on the right side, Kriyamanaha, being circumambulated, Idana, now, Abhi even, Kalpa Jivanam of the living entities who exist at the end of the creation, Ajivaha, the source of life, Upasati remains, Tasya his, Iha here, Anubhavaha, greatness, in discharging devotional service, Upaha Varnitaha, already described in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Revati Mataji. Very kind of you. Darshya Prabhuji, I just saw your hand raised. It was little late. You will be the first one to recite the next verse today. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadeva Goswami continued, My dear king, 1,300,000 yojanas and 1,04,00,000 miles above the planets of the 7 sages is the place that learned scholars describe as the abode of Lord Vishnu. There the son of Maharaja Uttanapada, the great devotee Maharaj Dhruv, still resides as the life source of all the living entities who live until the end of the creation. Agni, Indra, Prajapati, Kashyap, and Dharma. all is assembled there to offer him honor and respectful obeisances. They circumambulate him with their right side towards him. I have already described the glorious activities of Maharaj Dhruv in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll go to verse number 2. Right. Narasimha Prabhuji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Sahi sarvesham sa jyotirgananam grahanakshatradi nama nimishena avyaktaramhasa bhagavata kalena brahmyamananam sthanuriva vashtamba iswarena vivita saswadava bhasate. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Madhumai Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Sahi Sarvesham Jyotirgananam Grahanakshatradinam Animishena Avyaktaram Hasa Bhagavata Kalena Brahmyamananam Sthanuriva Avashtambha Ishwarena Vihitaha Shashvat Avabhasate. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Pranadandini Madhvi Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय स हि सर्वेषां ग्रह नक्षत्र आदीनां सॉरी प्रभु जी स हि सर्वेषां ज्योतिर्गणानां ग्रह नक्षत्र आदीनां अनिमिषेण अव्यक्तरं हसा भगवता कालेन भ्राम्यमाणां स्थाणुरिव अवस्तम्भः ईश्वरेण विहित शाश्वत अवभासते। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Thank you. Revati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
You
प्रभु
are
जी।
muted, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। सही सर्वासां ज्योतिगणना ग्रहण नक्षत्रीन मणिमिषेण व्यक्तरहंसा भगवता कालेन भ्रम्यमानानां स्थापुनिरिवावष्टम्ब ईश्वरेण विहिता शाश्वतवभासते। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। थैंक्स अ लॉट।
Thank you. Madhumati Vilasini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी, धन्यवाद प्रभुजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय साहि सर्वेषां ज्योतिर्गणानां ग्रह नक्षत्रादीनाम अनिमेषेण अव्यक्तरहंसा भगवता कालेन भ्राम्यमाणानां स्थाणु इव अवष्टम्भ ईश्वरेण विहितः शाश्वतवभासते। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Mataji. Chitra Moini Devidasi.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय सहि सर्वेषां ज्योतिर्गणानां ग्रह नक्षत्रादीनाम् अनिमेषान् अव्यक्तरंहसा भगवता कालेन भ्राम्यमाणानां स्थाणुरिव अवष्टम्भ ईश्वरेण विहितः शश्वत अवभासते। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Thank you very much, Mataji. Synonyms. Saha, that planet of Dhruva Maharaj. He, indeed, Sarvesham, of all. Jyoti Gananam, the luminaries. Graha Nakshatra Adina, such as planets and stars. Animishena, who does not rest, Avyakta, inconceivable, Ramhasa, whose force, Bhagavata, the most powerful, Kalena, by the time factor, Brahmya Manana, being caused to resolve, Seharut Iva, like a post, Avastha Anubhava, Vaha, the pivot, Ishwarena, by the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vihita, established, Saswat, constantly, Avabhasate, shines. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Established by the supreme will of the will of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, the pole star, which is the planet of Maharaj Dhruv, constantly shines as the central pivot for all the stars and planets. The unsleeping, invisible, most powerful time factor causes these luminaries to revolve around the pole star without cessation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is distinctly stated herein that all the luminaries, the planets and stars, revolve by the influence of the supreme time factor. The time factor is another feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone is under the influence of the time factor, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so kind and loves his devotee, Maharaj Dhruv, so much that he has placed all the luminaries under the control of Dhruv's planet, and has arranged for the time factor to work under him or with his cooperation. Everything is actually done according to the will and the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But to make his devotee Dhruv the most important individual within the universe, the Lord has placed the activities of the time factor under his control. We have time and again in Srimad Bhagavatam and also in Bhagavad Gita learned a lot about time factor. At one stage, Lord Krishna explains in Srimad Bhagavatam that the time or Kala is me. The all-powerful Kala or time is not controlled by anyone except Lord Krishna. And this is the most powerful factor considered as a fourth factor, which is in the manifested world. Kala Chakra is a common word used for repeated cycles of the time. And we all are bound by time. You know, our time is divided into 4 yugas. Each yuga has a specific duration. And the time is considered as a traveling distance between 2 atoms as the smallest portion of the time or the unit of the time. So the time being taken for the sun or the any light to travel from one atom to another atom makes the unit or factor of the time. Such an important portfolio, one would call it the portfolio of a prime minister in synonyms to our present political situations, or a president, is bestowed upon Dhruv Maharaj, of course with the will of the Lord, and he very kindly does it under the supervision and observation of the Lord himself. The point to be taken here is that Lord always loves his devotees as per his devotional activities, and more profound and pious activities always lead Lord to bestow the best that he has. There is a small story that goes like this. One gentleman was talking to another, and he said, I know two people in this world. Both are my friends, and both have different lives. One friend of mine keeps getting so many favors and so much flow of money and friends and people around him that he is always very, very happy, though he doesn't work that hard. And apparently he has a great enjoyment of the life. And a second friend of mine who really works very hard has great merits, probably one of the topmost, I would think, as a sincere and hardworking person. He's always short of wealth, short of so many things in life, and poor chap keeps on cursing himself and is never happy. And so one day he asked one of the devotees, what is the reason that there is so much of inequality in this world? A very pious sage or a saint told him that you go and inquire what he does for the whole day and find out, is there any difference between the two people? The gentleman came back 2 days later and explained to this sage that the man who is very happy, I asked him, what do you do? And he says, I do nothing except feeling gratitude for the Lord and keep thanking him that he does everything, gives everything, and he makes me do whatever he needs me to do. So I have taken the shelter of the Lord, and I keep giving my gratitudes to my Lord. The sage asked, what did you find from the other man? And he said, well, he says that he has a lot of complaints to the gods. And so he keeps complaining that you don't give me this, you don't give me that, you don't do this to me, you don't do that to me. And keeps on complaining when he reaches the temple. The moral of the story is that we all have plenty of things, much more than what we can handle. And God always makes sure he gives one more than what you need. And still, if we don't feel gratitude towards the Lord, well, the Lord will forget you. Always feel a gratitude in your mind and respect the Lord, respect everything around you. Feeling gratitude towards them, that all of them give you so much that sometimes you can't handle all of them. And it is the feeling of gratitude when you convey it to the appropriate authorities. They are always best appreciated. Feeling gratitude and humble is the primary duty of all the devotees who have entered the Krishna conscious movement. As it is explained here, Dhruv Maharaj is given the control of a time factor, which is said to be under no one's control, and it acts independently, autonomously on its own. And things that are going to happen always happens. And still, here is a devotee who is a pure, exalted devotee of the Lord. Lord loves him so much that he gives one of the most dreamed about job of controlling the time. The whole story is told to understand that we all are loved by the God. We are his children. No parents give anything back to their children. And so we are sure that we all have got what we deserve and what we need. But it is the feeling inside the heart and the mind and the consciousness that we must be grateful for all that we are getting. The same thing applies to everything else around us. We must feel a lot of gratitude, beginning from Srila Prabhupada, right up to all the devotees that you meet and all the devotees that you associate, all the devotees that you learn from, and all the devotees that give you love and take care of you. So many things happens at so many places that you and me may not be aware about. And when we are not aware that someone has cooked a prasadam for us or someone has made a nice decoration of deity for us, and we enjoyed that, doesn't mean that has not happened. It has happened. And that's why there should be a blanket feeling of great gratitude towards all the devotees that you come in contact with. Small incidences keep happening, but that should not sway your mind and thinking and your consciousness into wrong direction. It's very important that we have a feeling of gratitude towards all devotees that we come in contact, towards all the saints and sages, all the senior devotees, and also the Shiksha gurus and others that we come in contact with. Needless to say that you should have a permanent place of gratitude towards our acharyas and Srila Prabhupada, etc., because they have shown us a path in Kali Yuga to walk on and get free from these bondage of life and birth and death. And for all of the work that they do for you and teach you and make you learn is never ever thought about for charging. So you can understand that every effort made for you are actually intentional, but for not getting any material benefit at all. It's for you and me spiritual benefit. And that's why our feeling of gratitude should be very, very strong towards all of them. Any question, any queries, any comments, any addition, any doubts, any further exploration, any areas that are left out? There are so many areas, but I felt that Dhruv Maharaj is given such a huge task, and he does it so well because of the mercy of the Lord. We must have a feeling of gratitude and explore that gratitude with this morning lecture. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Very
Hare
nice
Krishna.
lecture. Very
Hare
Hare
nice
Krishna,
message.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna,
one doubt,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Dhruv Maharaj, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Mataji. Go ahead, Vijay.
Mataji, one doubt, Mataji. After Dhruv Maharaj, only God do all those things?
Yes, Dhruv Maharaj actually works under the guidance of the Lord himself. If you remember, in various cantos earlier also, we have learned that there are kings who are ruling the planet Earth. And these kings have been taking their instructions from the Lord directly. And that's why their kingdom has a lot of plenty of food, plenty of supplies, peace, and a wonderful weather all the time. So these senior exalted devotees whom Lord loves so much never think that they are doing it. They take their instructions from the Lord himself, and Lord finds a way to give instructions to them. Does that make some sense, Mataji?
Thank you, Mataji. Now I understand. How Dhruv Maharaj came there? Before that, there is no this kind of arrangements, I think so, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
Madhubhai Mataji, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, the one revelation, the Lord glorifies his devotees. So the thing which is taken from here, he's glorifying Dhruva Maharaj,
Yeah.
because he's so much loving him, Dhruva Maharaj, his devotee. Like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, so he made Sankirtana movement throughout India, but he made empowered Srila Prabhupada to give the Sankirtana movement spread all over the world. Similarly, Rama goes walking on the bridge made by the monkeys, but he makes Lord Hanuman to fly over that the ocean and for reaching Lanka. So this is empowerment of the pure devotees. So he makes them more greater than him, like to feel. But who is great? Lord is great, but he makes the pure devotees to be more greater than him. Like that's his.
As Srila Prabhupada gives example, that when a father is playing with a child, he always glorifies child much more than what the child is.
He empowers them and glorifies them.
Yes, a small girl in our house, when she is singing, everybody says she's better than Lata Mangeshkar. Though we know in our heart that's not true. But that's it. So the point is that we must understand that Lord is always giving us so much that our feeling of gratitude should be there rather than complaints. Diversities, when they come, they are for the reason which we don't understand. When we reach a particular platform of spirituality, we would understand all the reverses that come in our life. They all have their reasons. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you very much, Madhubhai Mataji, for your revelation.
The Lord's mercy is more abundant than what we deserve, so we have to be grateful all the time.
Yes,
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for attending the class, and all of you have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patita nama pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Hare Krishna to all of you. Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.